right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Tonight, police chief arrested. The overdose death and drug evidence reported by one of his officers.
Windy, warm. Temperatures turn the other direction as the gusty winds pick up this weekend. We're tracking our next chance for rain.
But first tonight, exposure to radioactive waste has the federal government responding.
It was in the park that I played in repeatedly for years.
North St. Louis County teachers, parents, and residents fed up and fearful, facing the aftermath of a World War II nuclear weapons program. Growing contamination concerns surrounding the Coldwater Creek. Good evening, I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. As Jana Elementary prepares to shut down, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is preparing to conduct its own testing. And new tonight, Brett Sullivan is live to explain how those who grew up in that area are now voicing their concerns and frustrations. Brent.
They certainly are. It's closing time here at Jana Elementary come tomorrow. This school has been here since the 1970s. And tonight, questions are even mounting from those who did not go to school here.
You know, I'm sick. I have several autoimmune diseases.
Karen Nickel heads the group Just Moms STL, educating people about radioactive waste. Tuesday, she spoke before the Hazelwood School Board after a third-party group found high levels of radioactivity at Jana Elementary.
Do you feel like you were exposed?
Yes, no doubt. The creek would flood. It would come up in my neighborhood. It would be out of its banks. It would dry. It would leave thorium particles.
She grew up along the Coldwater Creek.
I have lupus, psoriatic arthritis, and Sjogren's disease.
And you believe in your heart of hearts much of this is an impact of your childhood.
I do believe that.
She points to a 2019 public health assessment by the CDC, which took a close look at the creek and risks of exposure.
And they did find that, yes, there were ways that people could have been harmed.
Already, people are reaching out to Just Moms via Facebook with questions.
I'm seeing some that are reporting, yes, I went to Jana. You know, I've had brain cancer, I've had different types of cancers or autoimmune illnesses and types of things.
It comes as the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers announced Thursday it will conduct its own testing at Jana come Monday, testing the inside and outside of the school.
Do I believe that they could come in and clean this up properly? I do. They are the experts to clean this up. I do believe that. We've got a generation of children at Jana School that has bomb waste in their school and on their playground. I don't want those children to end up being sick like me.
Jana Elementary will go virtual come Monday. Today, St. Louis County Executive Sam Page praised the Hazelwood School District for making that call. How long this school building will remain closed, no one knows. Live in North St. Louis County tonight, Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
With concerns rising about the study's findings, local officials are now calling for more transparency from the federal government. Congresswoman Cori Bush met with the Army Corps about its testing that begins next week. She said the federal government dumping hazardous waste in a poor community of color is a prime example of racial and environmental injustice.
It's been an issue of environmental justice. That's why that has been a top priority of our office since day one, making sure that not only in North County, but throughout the entire district, because the Manhattan Project didn't just affect North County.
The Congresswoman is now demanding federal agencies hold a public briefing in search of answers. Meantime, Senator Josh Hawley wrote a letter to President Biden demanding a federal emergency declaration to help fund cleanup efforts. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you any new developments on air on KSDK.com and, of course, on the 5 on Your Side app.
Developing tonight, the police chief of a small Missouri town and his girlfriend are behind bars after being charged with drug trafficking. Chief William Jones is the police chief of Louisiana. That's in Pike County. His arrest comes a day after police say 2 men overdosed inside his home and one of them died. Police also found traces of heroin, fentanyl, and cocaine inside the apartment. One Louisiana man says he wasn't surprised by the news.
It's just getting sad. And the people that's supposed to be fighting the drugs coming in this town are turning around and the ones doing it.
At this time, Jones is on administrative leave pending the outcome of an investigation. He's currently in the Lincoln County Jail with a $150,000 bond.
Well, what a difference a day makes. We went from freezing temperatures to 70 degrees. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us with the Weather First forecast.
Yeah, and below freezing for some of us this morning. Some of us were down into the 20s once again, but boy, we changed things up this afternoon, topping out at 74 degrees in St. Louis. And the difference tonight, temperatures are not dropping all that much around the St. Louis area. Still looking at readings in the upper 40s to mid 50s at this point. You have a mainly clear sky. The Orion meteor shower peaks towards daybreak, but we're only looking at 3 to 5 meteors per hour. So don't stress over that tonight. You'd spend a lot of time staring outside looking for something that you probably aren't going to see. Our Weather First look ahead takes us into this weekend with gusty winds, and it will be even warmer going into tomorrow. And we'll keep that trend going into the weekend. We're talking about the windy weather, the warm weather, and our chances for rain in just a few minutes, Mike.
All right, Scott, thanks. Today, MoDOT started winter weather drills, but just like last year, their biggest concern is staffing.
MoDOT has a shortage of plow and equipment drivers across the state. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski joins us live on how the shortage will likely impact people's routes when that winter weather hits. Laura.
Mike and Ann, MoDOT says if a widespread winter event hits our area, they'll likely only have enough employees to fill one 12-hour shift and not that second 12-hour shift that would come right along to continue fighting that storm. The Missouri Department of Transportation says for their upcoming winter weather operations, they're down roughly 1,000 employees.
What that means with that critical staffing shortage of qualified snowplow operators, it will take us longer to get there and return roads during a winter storm to mostly clear.
MoDOT says during winter storms, they're going to start with major highways and roads directly in the path of the storm, but it could take 24 hours or more to get to smaller state routes, making the practice drill on Thursday even more important.
This also gives MoDOT employees the opportunity to train, go through safety measures, equipment, techniques that they will need during a winter snow fight. Today, MoDOT's emergency operations centers are also activating and testing out emergency communications.
The Missouri State Highway Patrol says more roads that aren't cleared could mean more people could get trapped or get in crashes.
It very well probably will be a bigger issue this year. Again, just like they are, patrol's also down a little bit. But we are working together within what we call zones within each county, St. Louis County, St. Charles County, to maximize our manpower efforts.
The Illinois Department of Transportation is also in need of workers. They're down about 8 to 10% compared to last year, but specialty equipment helps with more coverage.
Much like the Super Soaker that we have behind us here, it's one of our kind of our specialty equipment that really helps us manage unique storms. It can cover 4 to 5 lanes depending upon how the nozzles are pointed.
Now, during both winter weather and those drills, MoDOT and IDOT say they want you to not crowd those plows. Follow the signs on the trucks and stay back a good distance. Reporting live in downtown St. Louis, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
A heads up for drivers in St. Charles County. Right now, 2 of the eastbound lanes of Interstate 70 at Zumbel are closed. There will be occasional full closures throughout the night that will last 15 minutes at a time. Crews are working on new bridge support. These lanes will reopen by 5 tomorrow morning, and then crews will close the westbound lanes tomorrow night.
Tonight, police are still searching for 4 suspects who broke into at least a dozen cars in a Union Hall parking lot. New surveillance video shows the thieves arriving at the electrician union on the hill in a white Kia with no license plate. 2 men were seen hopping out in dark clothing and breaking into 13 cars. The thieves also stole several guns. One business manager says the break-in happened while they were in class.
One of the last cars they had an alarm on it, and somebody heard it and they walked outside. That was probably within about 2 minutes after they were gone.
11 apprentices were attending school at the time, and police say at least 4 individuals received citations for failing to secure their weapons. The union is offering a $5,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest. Call Crime Stoppers if you can help. That number is 866-371-TIPS.
A federal judge in St. Louis dismisses a lawsuit to temporarily block President Biden's student loan forgiveness program. The lawsuit was filed by 6 states, including Missouri. The judge dismissed it over lack of jurisdiction. Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett today dismissed a Wisconsin taxpayer group's lawsuit on similar grounds. Attorney General Eric Schmidt's office released this statement. The Biden administration's push to cancel student loan debt will unfairly burden working-class families with even more economic woes. We plan to appeal this decision. Tonight, there's more good news on the business front for the St. Louis area. In the past 3 days, 3 major manufacturing plants have announced they're coming to our region.
And new tonight, our Robert Townsend reports the latest announced today will bring new jobs to Crystal City.
What an opportunity for this town to be able to do that, and this county to be able to do it.
And we are so incredibly excited.
An enthusiastic Governor Mike Parson made the big announcement during a news conference Thursday. James Hardie, a top-notch manufacturing facility, will soon set up its first Missouri shop in Crystal City.
And the end result of that, what that all equals, is a good day for Missouri families and businesses right here in Crystal City.
For more than 100 years, James Hardie has made home, siding, and other building materials worldwide. Now the company plans to build a 1 million square foot plant here on Airport Road. The major manufacturer is expected to bring 240 new jobs to this Jefferson County community of 4,800.
I knew James Hardie would make a great partner for Crystal City for decades to come. Our city, Crystal City.
On Tuesday, Piston Automotive, the world's largest automotive assembly supplier, announced it will open a facility in Wentzville, investing more than $10 million to the community and bringing more than 200 new jobs. And on Wednesday, ICL, a global specialty minerals supply company already in St. Louis, said it now plans to build a $400 million facility in Carondelet. The new plant will manufacture critical materials used in batteries for electric cars. Groundbreaking for the James Hardie facility will start in April of next year. Right now, no date has been set for when the new manufacturing plant will actually open here in Crystal City.
Coming out of the pandemic, there is a renewed sense of optimism, confidence, and momentum that is unfolding.
Robert Townsend, 5 Your Side.
If you'd like to learn more about the 3 manufacturing companies coming to our area, just go to KSDK.com and look for the story under As Seen on TV.
Dental work is pricey. Do you need every procedure that's recommended?
There's a lot of gray area in dentistry, and there's not always one right answer for a given problem.
Consumer Reports has some tips to figure out if the work is really necessary. A little too close for comfort. The reason one woman says she is sharing her terrifying encounter with a bison.
199 days from our last spring freeze to our first fall freeze this week. The pattern's changing. We're tracking out a windy, warm weekend and our next opportunity for rain.
This is a terrifying encounter. A woman was visiting Caprock Canyon State Park and Trail earlier this month when she got a little too close to a group of bison. One charged at her, she ran, and the bison gored her. She is sharing this video in hopes of educating others. She wants people to know the importance of following the guidance of the park. See, he starts charging at her. You need to stay at least 50 yards away from the animals.
After only serving 6 weeks as British Prime Minister, Liz Truss has resigned. The resignation comes just 1 day after Truss vowed to stay in power. The economic plan that got her elected, which gave breaks to the rich and corporations, was disastrous and sent the value of the pound plummeting. She will remain prime minister until a successor is named. Her 45 days in office make her the shortest serving leader in British history.
It's hard to find anyone who enjoys going to the dentist. Regular visits are important for oral health, but a dentist visit can be stressful and sometimes expensive.
And do you always need those recommended procedures? Consumer Reports takes a look at 5 common dental procedures to help you figure out if and when you really need them.
Sitting in a dentist chair, the last thing you want to hear is that you need a filling, a crown, or a root canal. But do you always need every procedure that's recommended?
There's a lot of gray area in dentistry, and there's not always one right answer for a given problem. Some dentists may also pressure their patients to get more expensive treatments. So that's why it can be wise to get a second opinion.
In fact, only 27% of people have ever gotten a second opinion on a recommended dental treatment or procedure, according to a recent Consumer Reports survey. CR sought the advice of dentists to find out what you should do if you're told you need a procedure. Take a routine procedure like a filling. Replacing or repairing a filling can be important when they're damaged, but be wary if your dentist recommends replacing them simply because they're old.
Age alone should not be the only reason for new fillings. So push back if your dentist recommends replacing your fillings just because they're old.
If your dentist recommends a root canal, make sure they perform the adequate testing, which may include x-rays and a sensitivity test. And if your dentist recommends pulling a tooth, consider asking if there are other ways to extend the life of the tooth, because an implant can cost you thousands of dollars.
A tooth extraction is generally the last step for a damaged tooth, so if your dentist recommends an extraction, ask them to explain why and consider getting a second opinion.
To find a dentist for a second opinion, CR recommends asking friends and family or searching on the American Dental Association site. And be sure to ask for your records, including x-rays, to give to the second dentist.
When you do ask for your second opinion, you don't need to explain what the first opinion was, so the new dentist can examine you without any preconceived notions.
It did not feel much like fall today. Things are just going to heat up as we move into the weekend. Scott joins us with our weather first forecast. You know, I like that summer's going to visit us one last time.
Well, you know, it's one of those things. You got the furnace running in the morning. By the afternoon, you're getting
the air conditioner.
It's a weird time.
And we're going to have that this weekend, although the nights will not be as cool. This morning, it started out in the upper 20s over in O'Fallon, Illinois. Wendy shared this with our 5 on Your Side Weather Watcher Facebook group. Telling you, it was a nice start this morning as the sun was coming up. It was cool. It was actually cold and crisp. And now temperatures have backed down into the 40s and 50s. Why is there such a difference? 52 in Alton, 56 in Sullivan. You have 42 in Chesterfield. The spots that have less wind and also in the valleys, they tend to be cooler and they get colder faster. So that's where the coldest spots will be tomorrow, and a few places may be down into the upper 30s. Most of us will settle in the 40s tonight. It is 54 degrees. The winds have gone calm. Air's still pretty dry, up to 74 for the high. That's pretty good return on the start of 38 this morning. So tomorrow morning, mainly looking at temperatures outside of valley locations in the 40s. We have a mainly clear sky. Winds will be fairly light overnight. Highs today just to our west. Close to 80 degrees in Kansas City, Dallas, Wichita in the 80s. A few high clouds now, but that warm weather is going to be nudging our way and already getting signs of the next weather system that will impact us moving into the Pacific Northwest now. Tomorrow, you have a southwest wind. You're going to see a little bit of a breeze that gets a little gusty tomorrow afternoon, but not like what we saw earlier this week. We'll wait until the weekend to get that going. 74 by 1 o'clock, 80 degrees by the time kids are home from school. Now, the average high, 67 degrees for tomorrow and Saturday. Right around 80 Friday, low 80s Saturday, around 80 on Sunday. Don't think we're going to challenge the records, though, because those records are in the mid to upper 80s for this time of year. Nonetheless, it's still warm, just a few clouds. The breeze starts getting gusty as we head into Saturday. It's more so into Sunday when we could be looking at winds that gust anywhere from 30 to 40 miles per hour. And those winds will stick with us into Monday. It is really late Monday into Monday night on into Tuesday when we see this moisture sliding in and across the region. It gives us our best shot and an opportunity for some decent rain in a long time. The drought not getting any better, getting worse. This won't do a lot to help it out, but at least it's something, a ½ an inch to an inch of rainfall as we head towards Monday night into Tuesday. And of course, at that point, it will also cool down. A lot of wind this weekend. Get those leaves out and enjoy them while you can before they blow away.
All right, Scott, thanks. Corey is in for Frank, and he's got sports.
Well, Mike, 40 years ago today, there was a party going on at Busch Stadium. The most dominant team in town was at it again tonight on the pitch, and we've got a high school tennis player who refuses to lose. Stick around for sports. Well, Harrison Bader still has a ways to go to equal Randy Arozarena's 10-home run postseason outburst in 2020. But at this point, it feels like another cruel joke. Yet again, a former Cardinals outfielder is going wild in the playoffs for a different team. Bader took his 4 homers and 19 at-bats for the Yankees into Game 2 of the ALCS tonight in Houston. No homers for Bader tonight. He did go 1 for 3. And here was the big blast of the game, a 3-run home run from Alex Bregman off Luis Severino. The Astros went up and wouldn't give up the lead. Matt Carpenter strikes out as a pinch hitter to end the game. Houston heads to the Bronx up 2-0 in the ALCS.
Suter from the belt to the plate. A swing and a miss, and that's a winner. That's a winner. A World Series winner for the Cardinals.
40 years ago today, Bruce Suter closed the door on the Brewers and gave the Cardinals a World Series winner. Let's go back in the vault to hear what the late Hall of Fame closer told Bob Costas about his all-time Cardinals moment in the locker room after the victory.
This is what they had in mind when they picked you up a couple of years ago, 7th game, and you in there with a slim lead.
Well, I was hoping it was going to be me. This year, when we clinched the pennant, I was out there, and the same with the playoffs. So, that's my job. We get a lead like that, hopefully I can come in and hold them.
You had a couple of outings in Milwaukee that were less than classic Bruce Suter, but you shake that stuff off.
Well, Milwaukee Brewers are a great hitting ball club. You make a few bad pitches there, and they're going to hurt you in a hurry. So, I'm just happy we held on and we won the World Series. But, congratulations got to go to them, too. They're a great ball club. They never gave up, and they kept battling.
Classic footage never gets old. Well, the current sports powerhouse in town resides at Hermann Stadium. SLU women's soccer is ranked 11th in the country, and with a win or draw tonight against VCU would clinch their 4th Atlantic 10 regular season title in 5 years. A win tonight would also be the team's 14th in a row, which would tie a school record. So let's head to Hermann. So just a win or tie against the Rams, and they're the regular season champs again. No problem, right? Well, it was a defensive battle early. SLU almost gets one to go here off this nice corner kick from Hannah Frederick, but the keeper makes a nice save. SLU's keeper was good as well. Emily Percelli makes that save and a whole bunch more. SLU did score late. They win 1-0 and clinch another A-10 regular season title. Now, I don't blame you if you didn't stay up into the wee hours last night to watch the Blues pull off their overtime winner in Seattle. Thanks to 2 goals from Justin Falk, including the OT winner, the Note are 2-0 on the season. But after letting the lead get away last night against the Kraken, they don't want to blame it on early season rust.
It doesn't stop. You can't think about that for a second, right? You got to keep working and keep your head down, keep building. And it's early, and we got to keep coming together as a team. And we can be better. And it's good we were disciplined tonight, but. I think we can have some stronger second periods, and all of us included, myself, and we just gotta, day by day.
Tomorrow night we have some of the best high school football matchups of the entire season right here on 5 on Your Sideline. A few of the best in Illinois taking on some of the best in Missouri. But it's not just football season. The high school tennis season just crowned their state champs in Missouri, and Parkway South has one of the best in the state. Kaylee Buckles went undefeated the entire season en route to the Class 3 singles state title. She's the first Parkway South woman to bring home a singles title in school history. And this senior always had a bit of an idea this dream year was possible.
I had a gut feeling that it'd just be really nice to win first my senior year. I just had a feeling that I would hopefully win, but now that it actually has happened, it doesn't feel real to me. It's kind of like crazy how it's my last year and I won. I feel like it's a really big deal for me.
And that'll do it for sports.
All right, Corey, thanks.
There is still some time to get a costume ahead of Halloween. We'll show you which costume is the most popular this year. The countdown is on, less than 2 weeks until Halloween. So which costumes are topping the list this year? According to Google, it looks like there will be a lot of superheroes. Spider-Man and Batman are the favorites. The #1 costume, though, is a classic, the witch.
Really?
Yep.
That's the #1?
It is. Other popular choices include fairies and vampires.
Well, we've still got some time before Thanksgiving, but we are getting more details on a holiday tradition. Wonder Bread is getting its big break. Its float will be featured in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. This is the first time the bread maker has entered a float, and it won't be hard to spot. It has the signature colors of red, yellow, and blue, and it's called the Wonder Ship.
Another classic. Baldwin is getting a taste of the popular High Point Drive-In. A Little High opens this Sunday on Manchester Road. It's a mini version of High Point with a mini version of the signature burgers and shakes. It will be open from 11 to 9, 7 days a week, undoubtedly crowded.
Undoubtedly. And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Jimmy's guests tonight, Miles Teller and Idina Menzel. Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. Have a great Friday.